So, I finished the audit. This score should be up to date. I actually found a few positives I'd forgotten to jot down during the audit. Let's just do this. Let's just do this. Yeah, what if FF4 was a bad game? Here we are. We did it. We did it. We made it. Okay. I have good news. I have good news. We're probably going to go ahead and push through this today. Oh my god, is that another new song? Holy crap. Several people asked if the video was inspired by the Ocarina of Time thing, and the answer is absolutely yes. What I did not know at the time was that the Ocarina of Time is just one of several videos of that format. There's actually a bunch going around right now. It's one of the new metas. You know, what if such and such was a modern game? The thing is, while I was absolutely inspired by that, I wanted to go in a different direction with it, because I don't like that attitude. It pretends that new games are all bad and old games are all good, which is stupid. I mean, this came out in 2009, or 13, depending on how you take it. So, like, yeah, like, no. So that's why I restructured it and rephrased it as, what if FF4 was a bad game? And that's why I designed it around the idea that, what's all the stuff I tend to get negatives to games for? It's one of the reasons I found the beginning of this game so funny, is because the beginning of this game, the intro, unabashedly does so many of the things I was doing as a joke in that video. As you know, Rosa should be with me. Yeah, like that. It's the truncated character arc, right? And the as you know, and just all kinds of other crap. Yeah, whatever it is, I got 99 of it. Rosa should be with Dave. I've been mentally workshopping a second episode of that. Speaking of which, for those of you who haven't heard, there's a good chance I'm going to have to take another non-dark in mid to late June. I'm not happy about it. Moving on. There's nothing I can do about it. I have no power over my life. Well, that's an interesting question. How do we make a Marlboro not suck? Oh no, I still don't know when the electrician's showing up. That's also going to be a thing. And someday I need to take a day off to go to the DMV. I'm going to try and coincide those. How do we make a Marlboro not suck? That's actually a tough question. Because, yeah, a Marlboro is all about status effects, but, like... Yeah, no, exactly. The problem is Marlboros and status effects in general tend to be very rocket tag. They either destroy you, or they do literally nothing. Well, let's see how bad this is. Lunar Odin, and he doesn't even drop his mount. Oh, pause. Sorry, I've got something on my glasses, and I hate that. I cannot abide something being on my glasses. Okay. Oh my god! Oh my god! Okay, yeah, I'm not killing this guy. This isn't happening. Oh! Ah! Oh, okay, hold up. Where the hell? Yeah, he hits like a freaking truck, hitting me with a tank. And Edge is dead. I'm not even at the point where I can blink yet. Wait, the boys ended? Did they not do stuff from the comic? Because, like, I thought the show was nowhere on the comic, relatively speaking. Gotcha. That did 15,000 damage. I'm actually familiar with how the comic ended. I'm not a big fan. It's part of why I mentioned it. I will have to look up how the show ended, because I'm sure I will not be a fan of that either. Okay, he just raised his sword. I'm terrified. Can someone look up how much health Lunar Odin has, please? Okay, thank you. That's actually less than the last major boss we fought. So we're 45,000 into that, about a little over halfway, or a little under halfway, excuse me. I have read Crisis of Infinite Earths back when it was new. Hi, Krensler. Thank you for the sub. Give me 1 second, please, and I will proper acknowledge. He's got to be really low at this point. I've done at least 80,000 damage now. Nothing, Ross. I mean, water helps. For me. Some people, it makes it worse. Okay, he's not dead. Why is he not dead? Why is he not dead? Well, I was thinking about a superhero show, push-ups. Okay, he's still not dead. Okay, he's still not dead. He's still not dead. Oh, God. This is kind of terrifying me. Yeah, fiber is important. If there's one thing I did when I was cutting, let's call it what it is, I was eating plenty of carrots. Oh, thank God. That's starting to worry me. So it's funny you say that. I was actually completely serious. It's a topic that came up this morning. Okay, that was a thing. Yeah, I'm gonna backtrack and go heal now, because yikes. Oh wow, there are no saves before the final boss. So yeah, we have to backtrack to recover. Huh. I mean, FF4 pulled that trick as well. So who can equip Ragnarok? Theodore and Kain. Yeah, that's what I was expecting. It's a lot better than Excalibur. So, let me explain the superhero thing for a second. So, quite a while ago, before The Boys, the show came out, before Invincible, the show came out, before the recent X-Men comic show came out, like this is years and years ago at this point, I had an idea for a story I called The Primes. Now, the idea behind The Primes was actually pretty simple. It was a what-if story. What if one day individuals in real life gained superpowers? And it was supposed to be like a modern-day take, and it turned into its other thing after that. But the point was, it was supposed to be a whole thing. Cool, sure, whatever. Do this. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, but I'll put the other one on Kain. Anyways, it was a very political-oriented story. The thrust of it was going to be some character-focused, obviously, because everything I write is character-focused. But the majority of the plot was going to be focused on the politics. So there was going to be a whole thing about, like, how, you know, since capes are suddenly everywhere. No, they haven't yet, push-ups. Since capes are suddenly everywhere, what do we do about this, right? How do we deal with this? Some nations started making national teams of superheroes who would then operate with the jurisdiction of and on the behest of a given government. Some would form mercenary corps, and there would be rules and regulations regarding those mercenaries. If they bypassed those, there was other superheroes who would be part of a anti-superhero task force, whose job it would be to bring in any renegades, very Maverick Hunter kind of a thing. There's going to be an entire thing about technological progress, which was going to stall a little bit because in certain places people started actually using superheroes as abilities in order to bypass needing to deal with certain ecological or environmental problems. For example, one of the supers I'd already designed was someone who innately, without actually meaning to, just constantly generates an electrical field around it, constantly pouring electricity out into the world. And so rather than deal with that, they designed an entire facility whose only job it is to constantly absorb the energy he's pushing out in order to then store it and use that to power the grid, right? Stuff like that. Yeah, human battery, exactly. It was something he did willingly, I should mention. Like, that was his job. You get the idea, right? And so the whole idea was just to kind of examine, what if? It's the classic beginning of so many story ideas. It's what if suddenly soups? Now, because I didn't think that would be interesting enough, I came up with another idea, which is where the term comes from, which is the primes. So at the beginning of the story, beginning of the show, because I've envisioned this being show structured. I feel like a long-form media, like a television show, would fit for this. There would be this guy who is called the First. He's a prime. He's just stronger. He's basically straight up invincible, and has no real like nobody can do anything to him. The entire story actually begins with him walking into the UN building and just kind of killing everybody. Amusingly, none of the above. So he can't fly. He can't. He doesn't have eye beams. Doesn't anything like that. He's just straight up invincible, and he actually is invincible too. Inspired by Kingdom Come? No, actually. This is inspired by a story I wrote when I was in school because I thought it would be funny. And you know me, I like to take things and try to turn them into something real. So here we are. So the First walks into the UN building and just kind of his way through all that. And that is how Soup's, capes become revealed to the world. And there's pretty much the entire first season is focused on defeating the First. Massive spoilers, he's called the First for a reason. There's actually going to be some in-character theorizing, because he calls himself the First. When he only says one thing when he shows up: I am the First, and I hope you are prepared. And that's all he says. So, not too long later. Fast forward through a bunch of character stuff you don't care about, a bunch of political stuff you don't care about. And finally, they actually bring down the First. They defeat him! You're probably thinking, hang on, if he's actually invincible, how do they defeat him? They convince him to kill himself. So he passes willingly. The problem is, and this is the big spoiler moment, so forgive me for completely spoiling the story, I'll probably never actually get to tell. He's called the First because there's the Second. The Second shows up, and he's a completely different person. Yeah, no, he's a dialogue boss, exactly. The Second is very, very different. So, the Second is a master trap mage. His abilities allow him to do all kinds of funzo things, which prevent people from moving, or stab them, or lock them in place, or all kinds of fun little things like that. And yeah, if you're catching it, by the way, these are all inspired by the Final Fantasy villain characters from Dissidia. That's actually where the story originally began. I want to do a story idea based on them. So the First is based on Garland, how he plays in Dissidia. The Second is based on Mateus, how he plays in Dissidia. The Third is based on the Cloud of Darkness. The Fourth is based on Garland. Or not Garland, sorry, Golbez. Their personalities and their perspectives and everything else is completely different, but their kit is directly inspired from Dissidia. So the Second plays, for lack of a better way to put that, like Mateus. He's different. How does Golbez play? Golbez is actually a fascinating character to play as. I never, mained him. He is a melee mage. Pretty similar to how he is here, actually. He has big, sweeping attacks, and he has some very strong, hard-to-dodge, gravity-based spells. Like throwing meteors and the like. Yeah, Jet. If I'm being honest, the original intent was to go all the way through. When I sat down and started reorganizing this into an actual story, I realized I should stop at 5 or 6. Probably 5, honestly. 5 is the big climactic conclusion. The idea here, in super summary, is that there's tons of build-up to the first. They finally bring down the first. The second shows up, and unlike the first, who was mostly kind of nihilistic in the real sense of the word, like, there's no point in anything kind of a thing, the second is a little more ambitious. The second wants to actually enjoy life because he never got to. By the way, all of these were people before they got imbued, and I've thought of all their backstories, all kinds of fun stuff, and their personalities are an exaggerative extreme based on where they were. For example, the second was actually a homeless person who lived under a bridge. And so his personality is a direct reaction to that. So he wants to enjoy life. Anyways, exactly, Ross. They erupt. The idea is each time a prime can be defeated, or they can pass willingly. If they pass willingly, the next prime takes over. Each prime knows who the previous primes were, and knows who the next prime will be. What that means... So, the first knew that the second would come. The first didn't care. First, I've told this story before. He was trying to search for meaning, he didn't find it, you talk him down, he dies. Boom. He passes willingly. He didn't really have much of a motivation. He was just kind of roaming around, destroying everything. Again, his kit is based on Garland from Dissidia. He doesn't have much in the way of a power set. You can't damage him. No, really. And that's it. Like, he's strong. That's pretty much it. Can the current prime kill the next prime? So hypothetically, yes. Moving forward a little bit. So the first prime, he's nihilistic. The second prime wants to enjoy it. The third prime is a good person. She is actually someone who joins the party. So this is colossal spoilers. I don't know, but it gives a damn. But the idea here is that she actually reveals herself. She doesn't reveal herself as a prime. She just portrays herself as another super, and she joins one of the superhero teams, which a lot of the story follows. One of the more legally ratified teams. The good guys, for lack of a way to put that. However, this is when the X-Men stuff kind of reins itself in, because there's obviously a lot of people who are like, oh, death to superheroes because racism. And I don't know what else to add to that. After a while, it gets to her. She doesn't like it sufficiently that she finally reveals herself as a prime to her best friend, who happens to also be on the superhero team, pretty much demanding that he kill her, which he then does. And it's only until afterwards that he realizes that she wasn't fighting back and was doing a suicide by cop. So she's gone. The fourth stays much quieter. The fourth actually pulls a similar trick. He's a nurse. And the whole idea is that after the third happened, by this point they've recognized the pattern and they're expecting a new prime. And so at this point, there are special interest groups and superheroes who are literally combing the... What the hell are those? Who are combing the globe, trying to find the fourth, and nobody can. Nobody has any idea where the fourth is, or who they are, or what they are, or anything. Come on, come on. Yeah, they're looking for the Avatar, exactly. They're just called ARM. Alright, whatever. Well, the fourth is staying very quiet. Like I said, he's just a nurse. He doesn't even use any of his powers. In fact, the idea is that the entire tenure of the fourth, he will never once use any of his abilities. He just works as a plain old human nurse. The problem he runs into is that there is a global war that's getting started up. Too many of the national powers are looking at each other, and there's too many incidents happening, and escalations are getting worse. And since some supers can cancel out nukes, there's no real stalemate anymore. So I have the scene already built in my head. The idea is that the fourth, at one point in time, is contemplating what's going to happen if things just keep going the way they do, and what he can do about it. And the fourth is staring out a window, right? over a city, and there's a storm going. And as the lightning crashes, the fourth sees the fifth in his own reflection as it lights up in the window. And the fourth then decides to commit suicide. He passes willingly. So the fifth can show up. The fifth is a giant ball of death and destruction. He begins his story arc by actually destroying an entire country. And just kind of slowly making his way across the globe, destroying everything in a mile's radius as he does so. He is very slowly but very thoroughly wiping out all life on the planet. The idea here being that the fourth decided that the best possible way to stop the world war from happening is to give the whole planet a nice, big, obvious evil villain to focus on, to allow there to be a time period where people can chill a little bit. Here's the funny part. I knew exactly what happened in the original version of the story, but that was when it was supposed to be a prologue for the Swarm War. Problem is, this story has since been detached from that story. So now I'm not actually sure how to end it. Oh god, we're starting to see the goop. Oh no, look, the goop! The goop! Oh god, and there's feet, too! Hands, feet, and goop. Oh my god, I just noticed it's in the battle, too, look. It's in the background of the battle area. I wish there was an Enknun item. Because I'm about to go fight another super boss and then another super boss. And I'd kind of like to do that with full stats, yeah. At least has some health. No, Walker. No, no. Yes. No. Yes. Maybe. I don't know. These things have so much health. Oh my god. And they know... Guys, the foot just cast bad breath. Okay, wish me luck. Nothing, Kasumi Blue. That's the best part. Okay, so let's get into this, shall we? What is Twitch doing now? Let's see if Thunder works here. I'm not actually sure if it will. I'm gonna take a bit of a risk here. Sure, Russ. So, yeah, you probably caught that, Pillars of Snow. The whole idea was the first, the second, the third, and the fourth are never actually defeated. All of them are just willingly passed to the next one. The idea being that the fifth is the first one they'll actually have to beat. Alright, let's see how much this hurts. No, Russ. I think he started that path. And like so many people, he died before he could finish it. Oh my god! That was with Shell Up, in case you missed that. Okay. I didn't even see a thunder did damage. I wasn't paying attention. Oh, me too, Ross. Absolutely. And yeah, Damar is the kind of person who, I know this is going to sound strange, should have lived. Like, it's the Vader situation, right? He never got to actually redeem himself because he died. Started the path, didn't finish. That is really weird, Kitten Fan. Yeah, he proved worthy of redemption. I do think he was on the path, absolutely. So, you know, he gets some credit for starting that. I mean, they're never doing it, Reggie. You know that as well as I do. Like, I'm in agreement with you. I'm just telling you, we need that city builder. That's what we need. There's so many stories you can tell with a Star Trek city builder. I didn't either, Walker. I know plenty of people do. I am not one of those people. Okay. I don't think Wynn is redeemable, and I understand what I mean when I say that. I don't care what happened in the show. I do not agree. Ducat's trickier, because Ducat is like Janeway. We have to decide who we're talking about before we can discuss the character. Yeah, Pod Ducat is a no, but that's a different character. Unlike Diligent Dodo, who actually is Ducat. So first of all, Diligent Dodo, what does it feel like to be a celebrity? Really? 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 Just, really? The female changing? Absolutely not. No way in hell. That's the least thing on the table possible. And I'm not just talking STO. If you know, you know. Just visually, 9 is generally what I think of when I think of great Final Fantasy designs. I'm so stupid. Yeah, no, it's you can't be redeemed if you did nothing wrong. For lack of a better way to put that. I'm getting very low on mana. Jesus Christ. How much health do you have? Please die? I mean, Cardassia is screwed. 100%. That's why the rebuilding of Cardassia is kind of like a whole... Oh, thank God. Oh, my God. It's a whole story arc that several people would like to see, myself included. Okay. Okay, so, since I forgot earlier, thank you, Krenzler, for the sub. Very, very much. I didn't forget, I swear. I'm just an idiot. If you would like to put that towards up to 3 things of your choice, please let me know. I have to figure out how I'm going to get out of here. Because now I got to backtrack. Because I just took it in the pants. The funny thing is, I'm not sure these count as good fights. I'll have to think about that. I know that sounds strange. The problem is they are actually just their ordinary fight, but their stats are cranked up. Also white goop. Don't worry, it's not what it looks like. It's worse. There are no other save points from this point onwards. I have to backtrack. Now, I also saw a donation come in there from Diligent Dodo for... there we go. Better. I'm one of those people who thinks the Dark Aeon fights are bad. Just straight bad. So Fire Emblem, Path of Radiance. Fire Emblem, Fortune's Weave. Fire Emblem, Shadow... the Echoes. Shadows. Echoes. Of Echoes Shadows. Thank you very, very much. And there's Krenzler's. And I'll jot that down for... Tales of Berseria, Alundra, Alpha Centauri. Got it. Appreciate you. I'm not going to give the negative just yet. It is possible there's another save. But you know me, I'm never a big fan of a run back. And the original FF4 will get that negative as well. Because the last save is before the final stretch, and, well, that kind of sucks. I'm so sorry, Kasumi. Having to play Star Ocean 3, it's rough. I'm so sorry. Do you need someone to talk to? Nobody likes the Dark Aeons. Okay, I'm gonna... Oh, you mean just post-game. Sorry, I'm... The Freya fight's fine, actually. I rather enjoyed that fight. I just hated Star Ocean 3 so much, I've literally never touched the series since then. That's not a joke. I walked away from it, and I didn't play 4 or 5 or 8 or 15 or the remake of 2. I haven't played anything. I hate Star Ocean 3 really badly. Someday I'll play the remake of 2. I'm actually kind of looking forward to that one. Star Ocean 3 was on the PS2, yeah. I have beaten Penance by throwing money at him. I am not ashamed of that. Whoa! 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 Nope! 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 Oh my god. Okay, so let's continue with the plan here. We can do this. Yeah, they just straight up murder us there. Laura, why do you have 90 Phoenix Downs? Well... Have I mentioned I might actually be under-leveled for this dungeon? We'll see how this works, but I'm a little worried. Oh yeah, let's see who can equip that shield. So, it's Theodore or Kane. Absorbs element of other equipped armor. So, fire, lightning, ice, dragon. Yeah. Yep. Kane is just the Cecil of this game. It just keeps being a thing. I didn't design this. No. Call that the Nope song. Nemesis... Hang on. So, you're talking about Nemesis in 10, right? Not in 10-2? Just to be clear. Yeah, I don't want to fight the Rydia-bots. The Rydiots. I guess I'll answer both questions. So in FF10, there's a super boss called Nemesis, who's in the original vanilla version. Now, he's not a good fight, let's be very clear about that. But he's also a fairly boring... What? Oh, I'm gonna try this. This might lead to my death, unironically. Shoot. Yeah, I haven't shown up Bahama yet. I mean, this fight is just putting this guy to pieces. Nah, that sucks. Via Infinito is terrible. And the reason I asked about Nemesis is because he's in Via Infinito. He's not at the very bottom. Some random loser nobody even knows the name of is at the bottom of Via Infinito. Okay, we're doing good. What? It didn't even kill you! Self-destruct! And they just stands there like, what? Oh my god, I should have the second do that. Like, that's one of his spells, right? Self-destruct. The other dude just falls over. Oh wow, yeah, this place is great. I like this dungeon. It's my faves. Anyways, the point about Nemesis is he's like a lot of the super bosses in 10. I don't feel like dealing with you again. And that he's got a solution, and that solution pretty much mandates very specific build and grind. And that's kind of it. Like that's how you deal with Nemesis. Like, I know technically there's actually 3 different ways you can deal with Nemesis, but they all boil down to the same strategy. He has 100 million billion trillion health, so you just kind of push through him doing quint 9 damage every single round. And then when he finally gets an attack, you do something to survive it. Rinse and repeat. And yes, Penance was not in the original. Penance was added as the new super optional boss in the international version. Just like the Dark Aeons were not in the original. Yeah, a lot of the FF10 bosses are straight stat walls, too. Technically, Nemesis is a stat wall and a gimmick boss. Penance is worse, though. Hey, I just learned life, too. Yeah, Penance has only one strategy, same problem. The problem with Penance is it takes forever. The Penance fight is designed around the idea of you doing a very specific pattern. And because it's all turn-based, it's all deterministic, right? Like, there's no RNG in the fight. Do this, and then this, and then this, and then this. And you just keep following the pattern. It's like the original Pac-Man. However, just like the original Pac-Man, if you ever deviate from the pattern, then you're probably dead and probably cannot recover. And that's Penance. It is an honorously long fight. The average normal playthrough of it is about an hour. No, that's not a joke. Or you throw an insane amount of money at him, and Yojimbo kills him in one shot. That's how I did it. No, I don't feel bad. I also have beaten Nemesis, I think like 3 times at this point in my life. Because I've done the full trick in the Monster Arena several times now. One time for myself on the PS2, one time for myself on the PC collection, and once for a friend. Because he was like, hey, could you... Like, I hate the endgame. Could you help me bypass that? Sure, give me a few hours. And I just sat down with his controller and did it. Hello, Zar. Why is the encounter rate so much higher in here? What's really funny, that same friend then later complained that I trivialized the game for him. And it's like, you asked... Okay. You wanted me to do this! You asked me to do this! I was just looking up if there's a recommended phase of the moon for this fight. There is, and we actually happen to be on it. I don't know, Krensler. And that's my honest answer to you. I don't know. Don't look at me. I really don't know why there's a lunar phase thing. I mean, I do. We were talking about this earlier. You know, it'd be a cool idea. So I'm not sure we can do this fight. This is the second hardest boss in the entire game. The only thing harder is the super optional boss you can only do on your second playthrough. We have everything unlocked, so... Which we're not doing, don't ask. How far did you get, Ulto? Lunar Bahamut. What if you pay for a second playthrough? Mr. Red, my boogie, you do not have that kind of change. Neither do you, Reggie. Gooey, yeah. I mean, if you really want to fight the super optional. I do not have the power to stop you. Honestly, I don't think any of these fights are worth my time. What's with the goop? You'll see soon enough. I gotta go do the super optional first. Because somebody insists. Somebody just doesn't want me to stop playing this game. That's what this really is. Somebody. Valerian. Who's not even here. Yeah, I have some long-term people, and then I have everyone else who kind of rotates in and out, bit by bit. Damn it, Blades of Fall. I just dropped 28,000 gil. Jesus Christ. Death March in a turn-based RPG. As a term? No. I know that feeling, Krensler. I haven't been here either for the same frickin' reason. I'm about to stop streaming again in about, what is it, 3 weeks now? Don't worry, hopefully this will be a shorter, non-dark. I think you're right, actually, Dakota, yeah. Pretty sure you're right. I love it. They upped the encounter rate, and all the encounters are bullcrap. Well, the really good news is there's a 99% chance that when we come back from the next non-dark, We'll be playing FF11, yes?
You know where Breeze leashes?
Don't know what.
Breeze leashes?
If it's not on the window, I don't know. Because that's where it was last I saw it. Yes, there's a post that goes live every month on the 5th push-ups. And you respond to that, and the same thing as usual, right? You put it towards 3 things. That post is live right now, if you want to go do that. Run, 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 run! 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 Run? Run. Run! Screw you, Blade Trufall. Alright, okay. This is it. The super boss of Ultra Death. No, I don't even know when that's happening, Chemix Cow, which is part of the problem. God, they hit hard. I've never even heard of such a concept, sir. Or at least not said that way, I suppose I should say. Okay, so let's burn our inventory. Alright, wish me luck. When I die, I'll just reload this autosave and go fight the last boss. Actually, yes. They were invited here. They were going to replace our gutters, apparently. Not fix them, replace them outright. Oh my god, there it is. Okay. My favorite Bahamut visually is probably Nines, honestly. Nines is just really solid. And I just got the notification push-ups. You don't have to tell me in chat. I got an email about it. So this Bahamut fight is a little different in that this one has a unique gimmick. If you attack it with a regular attack, it counterattacks by lowering its timer by 1. Fair way to Nutella. I don't think I've ever had Nutella. Well. Okay, so that sucked. I don't think I've ever had chocolate spread either. Okay, hang on. I can work with this. I really can. Just give me a second. Or I'm dead! I actually have had a Ferrero Rocher. I don't like those very much. Can we, like... Can I start over? Yeah, let's just die so I can start over. I actually really screwed up my initial turn order. I kind of need to do that better. Dude, Scotch Mallows are amazing. I don't even care. I don't even care. Seas is starting to have supply issues. That's fun. How much health does Lunar Bahamut have, by the way? Random question. Hard to describe, Mr. Red. They're not quite marshmallowy. But they're really good. Okay, we're dead. Whew, thank God. Okay. My sister loves 500,000 health. Oh my God. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna give this one more solid try, and then I'm gonna walk away from this, because I just want to be done with this game. Who was that? That was Walker! Chained Echoes... Where's Walker? Where's Walker? There we go. So let's go towards Chained Echoes. Another Crusade, and Gravity Circuit. And I appreciate you, Walker. Thank you very, very much. I do know what my reward is. It's the Ultima weapon, which I was going to put on Kain. I don't think I care that much. Like, I'm really not sure that I care that much. But I did kind of screw up my turn order, so we have to put in what I call a solid effort, because I actually did screw up there, so... Let's see if we can reach the boss. Yeah, I ain't fighting 3 of those things. Okay. Okay. So the first thing we need to do is get Reflect on everyone pronto. Otherwise, it's just, we can't even get past the first phase. Wish me luck. First thing, of course, is to use the Spider Silk. First action. Oh, there it is. I thought I had some light curtains. I was right. Okay, so let's get some light curtains going. Do you have Reflect? You do. You now know the joy, Mr. Red. The hunger. Actually, let's just have him do it. They're not cheap, Mr. Red. Okay, so... Now... Hello? Am I blind? Where's double jump? Where's double jump? I was just using it. Why does he have double jump and Kain does? Okay, whatever. I don't care. Okay, now we go back to our regularly scheduled shenanigans. you just chill. You just chill. Okay. I will have to recast Reflect at some point, but not yet. Oh, never mind. It's actually already gone. I have already lost my Reflect. Okay. Hang on. Yeah, he looked at that flare. I was like, dude, no. Yeah, no, he's got some health. Or, god damn it, the moment I... So the real problem is I can't afford to have Kain or Theodore do anything other than damage, or this fight will be truly eternal. So they have to just constantly be doing damage every round. No choice. Flare. I shouldn't have done that. I mean, 4,000 damage is nice, but I shouldn't have done that. I don't actually know, Golden Ratio. That's a good question. God, it's the same thing. I'm just... Every other character is just feeding items into Kain and Theodore, who are doing all the damage at this point. I mean, Edge can hit pretty hard, but he can't do that kind of damage. Thankfully, Porom has an absolute insane amount of mana. Just a ludicrous amount of mana. Oh, shoot. Another spider. Another spider. I don't have Reflecto. This is gonna suck. Okay. Yeah, no, I'm dead. He started his rotation before I was ready for it. And as soon as they do their double jump, he's gonna Mega Flare and I'm dead. There's nothing I can do about that. All of those inputs were already input before he started switching to Mega Flare. So anyways, moving on. Let's just skip that fight. So that was Bahamut. Oh, hey, a save point here. Holy God. I honestly didn't think there was another save point. Yay. Negative removed. So, who's ready to meet the ultimate evil villain behind everything? Who has been the main problem behind literally everything in the entire game. Both games, actually. Because, of course, the villain of this game is the villain of the first game, too. Because you gotta one-up yourself, right? It's gotta be bigger, bolder. Also, who's ready for many negatives to story? No, even Zeromus was but a pawn before the one true villain, Goop Man. I should chop off the guessing game since we're here. So if you want to get your guesses updated, this is a really good time to. I'll give you a minute. I'll give you a minute. The time loop itself? No, I would say Ultimecia is the villain. She had a choice. She had a choice. She's still the villain. Moving on. Okay, that should be plenty of time to update your guesses. Whoops. Yes. We'll just no. Oh, prefer. Oh, God, I don't know. I will say it was an interesting challenge writing for R. Mateus, but I don't think I'd write a villain like that normally. I suppose antagonist would be my preference, given a choice. You can do more with that, generally speaking. So here's my rousing speech about this game's quality. Okay. Alright, you ready for it? Are you ready? You are not ready. Here it is. The final boss of FF4 and After Years. The villain behind everything. We appear to have reached the bottom. Is this the leader of the Maenads? This force. The Eidolons, they're warning us. Look at that thing, it's huge! I should mention I've never seen this boss in 3D. It looked different on the PSP version, obviously, because, you know, it was a sprite game. Yeah, no dialogue. Don't worry, it will have dialogue. New music, by the way. It's our 4th unique song in this game. If it's not obvious, this isn't the real fight. Oh, there we go. There we go. Nope, not quite there yet. Not quite there yet. That's bad. Theodor's hitting it for 500 with the second best weapon in the entire game. Just to emphasize how silly this is. Alright. Say, anyone, like... You mind if I go out and, like, get a couple drinks? I was kind of feeling a limeade. I'm really mad. Recently, for those who don't know, I love mango limeades. And there's only one place that provides it, which is Sonic. I got a mango limeade recently, which was not. Whatever the hell it was terrible. It was like sour and rancid. So that was the last reason I ever had to go to Sonic. Is this better? Because I haven't gotten a better spear. In fact, amusingly, there is no better spear. Might have been a one-off, but that's all I need, honestly. Oh, okay, I think we're actually to the real fight. Okay. That came from inside! Oh, that explains the goop. Finally, the one responsible for it all. He's watching me. He's looking right into my heart. He's just staring at us. What is that? Okay, here it is. For real, no joke this time. And again, remember, I haven't seen the 3D renders of these, so I don't know what they're going to look like. The actual villain behind all of FF4 is that. So, you asked about the goop. That's the goop. It's all him. Although, there's another implication there, too. Let me try this, to see if you can understand my words. Yeah, you remember how I told you there's going to be a lot of negatives at the ending? Understand? What is he up to? Can he see right into our minds? You must think we're some kind of inferior beings, don't you? What is he trying to do? As you may have noticed, I am the keeper of the crystals. You seem to see the crystals as embodiments of wisdom, but that is not their sole function. Certainly the crystals have granted you the tools you need to grow and advance as a civilization. But the crystals are more than that. They record and store everything within. The process and final result of every evolution that ever takes place. Every evolution of what? What are you going to do with everything that's been stored inside of... Yeah, it's Lavos again, by the way. I'm not joking. Would you understand if I told you I am in the midst of an experiment involving the future evolution of life? That was the reason why I created the crystals. The crystals I sent to your planet are no exception. Now the time has come to harvest them. I had sent the force of Maenads to your planet to handle the duty. You mean those girls? The Maenads were the latest experiment, built from the data stored within countless numbers of crystals. Again, I wasn't joking. The ultra super amazing peak of evolution creatures are based on Rydia. So why is this moon heading for our planet? I am sorry, but your time is over. I fear you have not achieved enough on this planet to satisfy my needs. I cannot allow the universe to be overrun by inferior species that fail to evolve to their fullest potential. Hence, the reason why this moon has not stopped. You cannot do that. You're purposely going to... No. Are you serious? You monster. You are all part of the process. The output of the evolutionary plan conceived by the crystals I created. In other words, this is all my work. The crystals, the Maenads, and this new moon. That is why I am called the Creator. Final boss time. Okay, so... let me think about this for a second. Okay. Yeah, for those of you who played FF16, this probably sounds familiar. Well, oh god damn it, it didn't refill me. Alright, hang on. You are missing nothing. That's the best part. This is just how it be, yo. By the way, I've noticed it hasn't mentioned it in this version of the game. But in the original version of this, it was either implied or stated outright, depending on which exact version you're talking, that the creator had also planted crystals in every other FF that has crystals, and then destroyed them all. You know, like he was going to do here. So FF1, FF3, FF5, they're all gone. Nuked by this thing. And yes, FF4 is the world that can actually beat him. Because, you know. This is why Wolverine can beat anybody. Because he's popular, so... Yeah, I've heard some people compare Ultima unironically to this guy. If you're paying attention, we kind of half mentioned that during the FF16 run, and I was just like, spoilers, let's not talk about it. But, yeah, that's where we're at. Yeah, he's also killed FF14 and 15. Yeah. Yeah, pretty much, Metal Overlord. Okay, so that was phase 1. There are 3, before you ask. You know, that's true, Kasumi. I hadn't thought about that. So there's phase 2. Long ago, I was born on a blue planet much like your own. We prospered more than we could ever sustain, until we consumed our very planet down to its core. By the time a small group of experts noticed, it was already too late to reverse the trend. So we abandoned our home planet and embarked on a space-wide search for another place to live. Months and years passed, and generations lived and died aboard our fleet as we voyaged. Eventually, our ability to survive slowly deteriorated to nothing, stunted by the artificial environment we lived in. The result is this new moon, you see, the remains of our space fleet. I am the last survivor. What kind of civilization should we have built? How should we have evolved instead? In search of an answer, I embarked on a lifetime of experimentation, creating the crystals to record all of my proceedings. After I made them, I sent them to countless planets, any place that had the potential to sustain life. I'm sorry, my craft cannot hold out any longer. The chemical reactions that were controlled by my outer frame are changing me. My brain has started to transform. Round 2. This is terrible, isn't it? People have asked me for a long time, why do you hate After Years? You're looking at it. I honestly don't remember most of After Years, as I've kind of demonstrated already. But I remember this nonsense. This stuck with me. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of, Blade Jamal. Yeah, they just axed all the FF6 and other references. I forget all of them. I remember 6 was there. Shoot, now I'm questioning myself. It was 1 through 6. I thought so. Well, that's irritating. You know, real talk, I'm not sure they were thinking. Really. Let's do this. Thoughts of the creator. Are you joking, Hardboiled One? This is the dumbest goddamn thing in the entire Final Fantasy series. And I've played 13-3. I'm just saying. Yeah, I want... Yes, Czar, this is worse than the final boss of FF16. And yeah, I want you to imagine, you know, that this goop pile canonically destroyed FF1, 2, 3, 5, and 6. That's the end of those games canonically and those worlds. Now, this is getting less negatives because it has not done that here. Yeah, but the bosses from FF2 were there, so that counts. Yeah, this thing killed Terra and Celeste, because of course it did. Oh, that's bad. Rudia, could you stop dying for 5 seconds, please? Yeah, no, what probably happened is they didn't want to make 3D models of a lot of bosses, because in the PSP version, they could just copy-paste the sprites over, right? Which makes the PSP version better gameplay-wise, because those are good fights, and much worse story-wise. Phase 3. So, in the original, the sprite work, this thing looked very much like Neo X-Death. So much so that most people believe it was a deliberate homage. I'm curious what the 3D version of Neo X-Death is going to look like. Tell me, how are we supposed to live? Were we supposed to live? What? 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 Okay, to be clear, that is not what the original one looked like. That's a derpy goldfish with a face coming out of its fin and a freaking angel coming out of its skull. What is this? Who designed this? You had to go out of your way to make a brand new model for this. What is this thing? Oh my god. Hang on. Give me a second. Oh my god. Give me a sec. I want to show you this. I want to show you this thing, okay? There it is. Yeah, so second. It's gonna be kind of pink because it's a sprite rip. Whatever, you're gonna live with that. You have no choice but to live with it. This is what the original looked like, right here. And yeah, it's very X-Death, right? It's very Neo X-Death. You can even see the inspiration directly, and it's got the multiple faces and all the creatures. It even kind of made a narrative bit of sense, because the idea is that the goop, right? All of the crap, all of the goop is all of the leftover refuse of what used to be this being that has evolved so much that it's essentially just an amoeba, and it's this giant morphic blob. And when we finally beat down its control systems, what happens is it's just all of the different data of the different creatures it's been scanning glunked into one. That makes sense. There's a storytelling beat behind that. There's some visual storytelling. This is... this is Casper the Genocidal Goldfish, is what this is. Oh my god. Okay. So I'm a little bit on the back end. Wait, what? Oh, Jesus. Okay, cutscene. No, that's right. Yeah, so hang on. Stop me if you heard this one before. The people of the Earth need to pray for the success of the heroes who are on the moon fighting the ultimate manifestation of evil, and that will give them a crystal they could use to defeat it. Oh, mighty Dragoon, you have overcome your lonely trials. I know you are capable of this. This has been done better in a lot of games, frankly. Palom? No, Porum. God, dude. They don't even look alike anymore. Porum! There you go. Yeah, this is better done in FF4. You like how there's no music at all for the big dramatic spirit bomb scene? Hell, Earthbound did this way better. I shouldn't say it. Earthbound did a great job of this trope. Turned it into gameplay even. Listen, music's for lose. Hang on. You know what? In honor of this crowning achievement of a game, oh, hang on. Music started. Oh my god, look, he's got a different model too. He's got the derp model. Look at him. Look at him. He's so bad. Oh my god, he is so bad. Why did you leave us behind, you jackass? Stay alive. Get home. We believe in you. If you give up, then all is lost. You promised me. You said you'd stop the moon, and we'd all come back home together. Please, fight until the end for me. You must believe. I know you can live through this ordeal. All my heart I put into my fist! Okay. I like that quote. Everyone back home is fighting for you. The will of the people shall be your courage. Can you hear us? Our feelings? Don't you give up now. Please stand back up. We're waiting for you, and so's everyone else. I believe in you. Father, Fusoya, grant us your power to kill the guy who killed FFs 1 through 6. God, that still pisses me off. Cecil's right there. He's fine. Don't worry about him. Don't worry about him. I believe in the crystals, and I believe in all that lives on the blue planet. Everyone's waiting. Waiting for our return. This isn't over. We aren't dead yet, people. We are still alive. All of us! Hey, anyone in chat member FF4? I member. The crystals regained their light, except for the dark crystals for obvious reasons. Alright. The no really final boss. I'm lying to you. I'm sorry. There's actually another fight after this. I'm sorry. There's one more. Don't worry, it's not nearly as painful. The crater's protected by darkness! So, use the crystal on the last boss. Never heard that one before. This crystal, what is it? Stop. Stop me. Now! Yeah, by the way, the big plot twist is that he actually never wanted to be a horrifically mass genocidal madman. He just went insane from... Anyways. So yeah, here's our actual last boss song. Ain't it great? Come on. There we go. Jeez Louise. Okay. Let's get our buff cycle going. I honestly think we've already beaten things harder than this. But I'm still going to take this seriously. Oh, he 100% black holes. Yeah, I was on my way through Lunar Bahamut. I made a mistake, and there's no recovery from a mistake. I wonder if I could Spider Silk it. That would be really funny. Spider Silk, best kit 2026. How much health does this loser have, anyways? Anybody know? Perfect, Kennex Cow. My day is made. Oh, he's casting Propagation, which is kind of weird when you think about it. If WoW had no writing, I would have never started playing it. Never mind, played it for 20 years. 200k. That's less than half the other jackass, so we'll see how this goes. Game. Listen, I can't use my elixirs, because I need that for the final fight. I'm kidding. I hope. No, I'm into the game quite a bit too. I like FF14's story, but, you know, I like a game to be fun to play. I know, I'm weird. I've been asked many times if I'm more into story or gameplay, and the answer is no. I like gameplay and story. That's my shtick. There is one more phase after this, Darkrai. Don't worry, I'm not super worried about it. Once we get past this phase, the last phase is going to kind of be a... like a victory lap sort of thing. Yeah, he keeps changing his weakness, not that I care. I know, right, Loner? Just bizarre, isn't it? Oh, there's our black hole. I was waiting for it. Okay, we were at full health for that. We were ready. Let's go ahead. Let's double haste our damage dealers. Hasted melee fighter, blah, blah, blah. Whatever. Let's throw another elixir down Porum's throat. Why not? So I need a little over 12 attacks to bring this home, give or take. Well, the answer is actually pretty simple to Quack. First and foremost, if you ask a writer why they keep writing story, then you're probably asking the wrong question. We'll just start with that. Second of all, people say they don't like story in games. and they are lying. No, I'm dead serious. We actually have data and statistics at this point that prove that when you push out a game that just has no story whatsoever, or no plot, or just completely de-emphasizes the story axis, that game dies on the vine. It's, context is actually the word I like to use. Ooh, that hurt. Do I have do Mega Elixirs exist? I don't know. Yeah, I'm not actually joking. Even an excuse plot tends to be better received than no plot. And yeah, another one of many examples of this, a much more recent example, is how many live service games have completely fallen by the wayside lately. Oh, and by the way, if you ever need proof that people, even people who play FPS, love a good story, you know, legitimately like good stories, I point to Doom 2016. Doom 2016 is a very gameplay game. It also has a banger story. So. Counter-Strike has nothing. League of Legends has quite a bit of lore, actually. I mean, they did an entire TV show of it, 2 seasons, no less. Yeah, people liked Modern Warfare. People liked Halo for the story. Don't mistake me, a lot of these people probably prefer the gameplay of these games, but to say the story is irrelevant is nonsensical at best. I know what you're going to say. PUBG? PUBG has story. A weirdly in-depth story, actually. I don't recommend looking into it. It's really strange. Yeah, Team Fortress 2 has a lot of story. Fortnite is a black hole. Now, here's the funny thing. Fortnite did have a story when it first got started. Helldivers has quite a bit of story going for it. Minecraft also has story going for it. There are, of course, exceptions. But they are smaller than you'd think. As in more infrequent than you would think. Let's go ahead. Are we? We are. Let's do this. Well, I already did it, didn't I? I did. I suppose that's true. Counter-Strike did used to have a story when it first started. EverQuest has story. It does. Marvel Rivals has story. Not a lot. Again, I'm not trying to oversell. I'm just saying, you gotta work at it. Ah, screw it. Let's just let it go. Super Earth! I hate how he can just heal himself for 10 freaking thousand. That's such a dick move. Let's top off. Watch 2. What a frickin' mistake. I have not and have no plans to acquire. In amusing contrast to what I literally just said, I've just fallen off the books, and I kinda don't care anymore. I can't decide if I hate this song or whatever the alternative to that would be. Another immediate black hole. Jesus. I hadn't even gotten to start buffing yet. Oh, you dick. Alright, who'd that hit? Nobody. Okay, you know what? I can go with that. All right, you know what? Let's do this. I would say most of the Warcraft books are bad, pound for pound. I, in fact, can only point to 2 of them I ever enjoyed. Points if you can tell me which ones they are. I own both. Physical hardback, I mean. I love how Edge has just kind of turned into an item vendor. Oh! The destruction has already begun. My destruction, and that of this new moon. You must run! Yeah. Arthas and Illidan. Those are the 2. Yeah, thanks for destroying the setting. And in the PSP version, destroying the setting of FFs 1 and 2 and 3 and 5 and 6, you snothead! Literal. I very rarely mean that term as literal as I do. You snothead. Is he really, Dick? That's cool. Did not know. An earthquake. We're going to be overwhelmed. Are you kidding me? The new moon is starting to fall apart. We need to hurry. This is a very strange song choice for what's happening right now. I'm not joking. In the PSP version, it is implied and stated, depending how you look at that, that the creator wiped out the worlds of FF1, 2, 3, 5, and 6. Not a joke. So, did you like any of those games? Because screw you, he killed them. Off camera. So, if you've been wondering why I keep saying the outro is going to get a cavalcade of negatives, that was why. I was prepared to absolutely body slam this game with negatives for that. Interestingly enough, the DS version skipped over that. Probably because it was too much work. Yeah, no kidding, Metal Blur. What am I doing? What am I doing? Right. There we go. It's still pretty bad. It's just not apocalyptically bad. Am I going the wrong way? No, this is right. I wonder if Bahamut's still there. Aw, chest is gone. The idea is that the goop is... Oh god, there's actually a real-life term for this. It's when something is supremely dynamic and reactive in its cellular structure. Effectively a shapeshifter, but with less intent behind it, right? The idea being that he was so pumped full of chemicals and technology that he was effectively an amoeba. Yeah, the Reaper goop in Mass Effect 2 is another example. Star Trek plays with the goop idea a few times. So, I told you there was one last phase. Yeah, he back attacks you periodically as you run. And he does this. Right, hang on, we actually have to do some damage first. Actually forgot about this. Well, yeah, he's self-destructing, Mr. Red. Duh. Duh. Yeah, what's funny is this game was a mostly forgettable, kinda sucky, hey, member berries game of FF4. And then we hit the last chapter. And it's just, it nosedives immediately. For a while there was a meme people would mention about me, which was, and this is where it lost me. Yeah, I gotta decide how many negatives this is. I haven't given any of the negatives yet. I'm going to. Okay, well, we're finally done with the creator. We never have to fight him again. I'm lying, obviously. I don't mind this song, but this is such a weird song choice for the desperate fleeing. Oh yeah, hang on. Where is she? Whatever. Yep, this is the canon conclusion to Final Fantasy IV. Even without the connections to the other ones. Here we go. I was gonna say, where the hell is she? Remember, we told her to stay put. I love this. We told her to stay put. You're still alive. I waited as you ordered. Yeah, she stayed put. She obeyed. Please kill me. On me, Boogie. They follow orders better. I mean, the robots. What else are they gonna do? Disobey? Come on. Why would an AI ever do something it wasn't told to? What's up, Reggie? What do you got? Oh god, yeah, Krensler. I can see that. His HP is 1,000,000. Of course it is. We will stop them. Yeah, so the Maenads turn on the creator. And this is the final reason the Maenads get a character negative, is because they have spent the entire game being the villain. It turns out they're the mindless drones working on behalf of the creator. And then when we defeat the creator, they all turn on him for us. Not explained, not elaborated. They just do. There's no droid effect here. There's no development. There's no arc. Spoilers, it's going to get worse. They literally save our lives in a minute here. Like, it's one of those, oh, we're going to die, but then the Maenads are like, we got your back. As you know, we are the Maenads. You tired of this yet? Yeah, if we were to be generous to this game, which, to be clear, we are not, but if we were to be generous to this game, what probably happened is he probably ordered them to kill him for them. I don't know, DeQuack, how many story positives did it get? Maynard should be with me. Wait, she is. Shoot! It's almost like I have a website, DeQuack. I don't know if you ever heard of that. Watch that child. I love how even the big, desperate last flee from the thing is kind of boring because it's just too long. Cecil, watch out! You're being attacked by the creator! Or I need you to voice the creator now. No, Ross! No, this definitely isn't the last boss. What are you talking about? Definitely not the last boss. That child is us. I hate this game. I don't hate it as much as the PSP version, which is funny, because in almost every other way, the PSP version is a superior game. That's debatable, Declare. That would be my answer. That child is our future. Yeah, I can actually picture this. If they somehow had the budget to do this properly... No, I think WoW Lore is better. If they somehow had the budget to do this properly, I think this could be a legitimately horrifying scene. Picture the glorping body of the amorphous mass expanding, right? And it's just, yeah, it's just expanding completely against its will, engulfing the parts of the facility as we're fleeing, right? Picture the last boss of Resident Evil 2 Remake, if you're familiar with it. And it's just chasing you down, and just with tentacles that are just growing like this turbo-cancerous mass as it's going. And then the Monads keep showing up and desperately throwing themselves in its way to prevent it, right? I think this could work if they did it properly. Unfortunately, Push-Ups asked a question, which I didn't see. I really didn't. Do you mind repeating it, please? You are our father. Which is why we're casting Meteor at you. Thank you. Oh yeah, by the way, we don't kill the creator. The Monads do. Final reason they're the Mary Sues. We never kill the last boss. They do. Time, by the way. Freaking... Finally. Hi. Good God. Here is my sister. She is not feeling well. No, we still gotta do the ending longer. My goodness. What is it, sir? The moon. The moon that at this point is so close it's probably in the atmosphere is exploding. Surely that's a good thing, right? No, it's just God, I hate this game.
There's two of them.
There are. Don't worry, they're both artificial. I don't actually remember Push-Ups. I don't remember if they stated it outright. However, I do know that the lore book that came out afterwards does state it outright, so take of that what you will. Don't listen to Krenzler. Don't do that. Don't do it, sis. The point behind that statement, sorry, you know how it is, right? Creator intent versus what's actually on the page don't always align. The intent of the writers was, without question, the creator wiped out FFs 1 through 6, -4.
Why?
Because the creators hate us.
Why?
I don't know. The moon, it'll just be a speck before long. And yeah, the moon didn't explode, so it just left. It doesn't matter, because it's not in this game, so we're not giving it any negatives for it. But it's the thing that pissed me off the most about After Years. It is the thing that aggravated me beyond all reason. And the reason why this is the second time I've played this game, and last. The creator must have sent the moon away from us before he fell apart completely. I never imagined that the crystals were created for that purpose. What does this mean for the future of our crystals? It all depends on how we decide to use them, doesn't it? We will use this alien technology for good!
Except we won't.
They won't.
Nope.
I don't think they give a damn push-ups. They keep pushing their little side mobile games, which just do whatever the hell they want to.
No one needed tissue.
Oh, God. That would be hysterical if they ever made an HD version of this game. Excuse me, a second HD version of this game.
Hold on. We have hands.
No!
Hands. See?
Oh, God, you're
Hands.
right, yeah. The crystal has returned, and in one piece, no less.
See? Hands.
Yeah, yeah. With this order, our people can finally
The
concentrate on
glories
rebuilding our
of
glorious
Roche
hands.
3D.
2009 3D, right here.
Yep.
Leonora, as of this day, you are to stand officially amongst our ranks. I thank you so much. If I may, however. Hee hee. What? First, I must marry Palom. I don't know, I guess it's like the Star Ocean 3 example I listed earlier, Mook. I mean, everyone's got a different take on that, right? But when a creator, when a developer or a writer spits on something that, you know, I actually like, I admittedly tend to take that personally. I know that's a me thing. I know not everyone does that. But I've never touched the Star Ocean series since Star Ocean 3. You know? Like, nah, I'm good. There you are. It's a turbo spoiler, Kretzler. Yeah, Chrono Cross, another good example of that. The Elder's woken up? He sure has. Yeah, Chrono Cross is another good example of this concept. It's just, it bothers me. I may or may not be able to enjoy the game or the franchise regardless of that. But I cannot help but be bothered by that, to take that personally. Right? Well, no, because obviously After Years didn't ruin Final Fantasy IV for me either, Lord Harriman. That's not what I'm saying. Like, this isn't the ruined thing. That's a different category of problem. This is the, does it bug me to begin with? So, did Mass Effect 3 trying to ruin Mass Effect 1 and 2 bother me? Yeah! Did Lufia 5 bother me? Yeah! And yeah, Dragon Age, well, kind of is into this and kind of isn't. There's some iffy on there. No. Oh, God. So the 5th Lufia game is the one on the DS. I've actually reviewed it semi-recently. It's really bad, by the way. And yeah, that bothered me. I have not played the fan remake yet. That's on my list to do someday. I know the fan remake is called Lufia 5, but there actually is a 5th Lufia game. Does WoW Classic bother me? Wait, why would that bother me? What are you thinking? You're not young anymore. Hallam. It's quite alright, Porb. He only states the truth. I was wondering, Pelham, have you made the decision about your Sage training quite yet? Yeah, DMC. I still like Devil May Cry 3, and 4, and 5, but DMC pissed me off. Anyways, that can come later, huh? Come on, you know as well as I do how helpless Mysidia would be without me. Long have I awaited those words. Yeah, you know what? Paper Mario Sticker Star. Metroid Other M. Mega Man X7. I've got a long list of games that do this. From this day forward, I leave Mizzidy in the hands of you both. What? Elder, you couldn't. We're still unprepared for the job. Oh, you'll be fine, as long as the two of you are together. Black and white, darkness and light, male and female. Your differences are exactly why I'm sure you will lead us along the right path. Now I could die. These aren't your last words or anything, are they? Palom, what are you... cheeky fool. Back to training with you. Sure thing. Just don't keel over Sonny yet, huh? Palom. Yeah, you know what? To use a non-game example, the card. The card, Season 1, and 2, and 3, all pissed me off for very different reasons, it's worth noting. But that doesn't mean I can't enjoy TNG, right? Oh, come on. In fact, I'm going to rewatch TNG right now. That's a lie. That's not happening. It's less overtly horrible and more pissing on the setting kind of a stuff, Ross. A lot of the stuff that happens in Picard Season 1 shouldn't be canon, for lack of a better way to put that. If you're looking at me, if you're looking for me to teach you something, I'm afraid you're out of luck. You've got everything you need. I understand that. So why'd you come here? What about the E-Pops and everything? I gave it a... What? Why, Leonora? Why? There are a lot of EPOP trainees in Troya. Most of them much more suited for the post than I am. Yeah, I know, right, Grenzler? So what are you gonna do now? Exactly, Ross. Picard Season 1 is problematic, so I don't like it. Picard Season 2 is the worst season of Trek. So I must become a sage. Are you serious? What? Is that so strange? I don't know. I'll give you all the help you need. Really? Of course. Ribbit. Oh, it's Tsukinoa. Good for you, Porum. Ah, whatever. Guess I'll be babysitting you for a while longer. Yes, sir. Thank you. He's in disguise, Krenzler. I just had this really horrible thought. I kind of liked that little ending. I mean, it wasn't great, but, you know, it was neutral-worthy. And then I just realized we're going to have to do an ending for every single goddamn character in a cast of, like, 20. This is going to take forever. And we just went through what was probably the best one. Oh, bees, that's what the crystals were made for. Yes, Father. It's all over my head, anyway. What? I can try to explain it again if you like. You see, Sora and the not Soras, are they kind of like Sora? No, sorta. So there's the Sora and there's the Sortas. If you ask me, we dwarves aren't meant to sit around all day pondering the mysteries of the world. We should keep it simple, see? I don't see why we shouldn't protect our crystals the way we always have. Even though they're an alien device sent here to scan us and then eventually kill us. Luca! It's... mid? What? I missed that somehow. Sid's grandson is named Mid. There you are, my grandson wouldn't stop whining about how much he wanted to see you, so... Perfect. Come to the Falcon. Oh, what, already? Come on! I demand that you make puns, Kay. It is your sovereign duty. You know, hang on. Let's take a quick break. Let's just pause for a second. Because I just realized this is going to be like 700,000 years of this ending. So, here. Give me a moment, would you please? Let me think. I demand cringe, Kay. Yes, embrace the cringe, Kay. Give in to the cringe side. Oh, I hate that sensation push-ups. You're not actually fat, right? You just feel it. I have since learned the correct term for that is bloated. Like, you look yourself in the mirror, your stomach's not bigger. You're not, but you feel like you're a balloon. Oh, I hate that feeling too, Kenneth Scott. Alright, son. There's a reason I named you this. I know that feeling, unfortunately, all the time. Part of the reason, one of like 5 reasons why I have issues with my weight, is because twice in my life I have been medically starving. For an extended period of time, I mean. And that did a number on my metabolism that I basically never recovered from. Woo! Nice, Religious Snow. I hope you enjoy. I don't think you're going to, but I hope you do. God, it is, Mr. Red. No, there's no double music playing. I can even prove it. Here, watch. Mute. Unmute. Mute. Unmute. There's just the one song. If you want me to play 2 songs at once, I can, Linnerith. Hang on, just for you. Just for you, I'll play a second song. I'm kidding, I won't do that. I've got stuff to do. I'm really curious what the He-Man movie's gonna be like. She has been dead for several years now, push-ups. Which says something about how long this has been in the queue. That would be awesome, but let's just don't know. Okay. No, I write down every donor for a game. Every donor for a game, because unlike some people, I actually know how to keep frickin' paperwork. So, you donate for a game 3 years ago, I wrote that down, and I remember that. Point in fact, a lot of donors on some of the longer standing runs probably haven't watched my show in years. It is interesting you brought that up, though, Push-Ups. Did you know the anniversary of her death is May 17th? That was last Sunday, if you missed it. That's why that Platy emote has never left, and probably never will. Until I'm inevitably bought out by some kind of investment firm for several $1,000,000. Then they'll try to sell Platy merchandise, and then I will murder them. Thank you for the sub, Nameless Baron. Always appreciate you. Give me one moment. I'll jot that down. I will not put that towards Resident Evil 7, though. So you don't know this, obviously, since you did that. Resident Evil 7 is vetoed. So, no. It is a horror game. It is the only Resident Evil game that qualifies as a horror game. And horror games, as a general rule, are vetoed. So who's ready for some terrible music? Fatal Frame would also be vetoed. This is a little something I picked up while examining the Little Whale's engine. We do need something about this part here, though. How about this? Wow. Yes, Mid is, of course, a scientific genius. Because he's Sid Grandson. Hello? That's my boy. No, Mr. Red. Is there anything you need, Sid? Do not hesitate to let me know. Well, we could use some crewmen, actually. His Majesty is free right now. We have a newspaper emote. I'm dead serious. It's the one that looks like Fighter from FF1. Yeah, there it is. Oh, Father, you wouldn't understand anything on this ship. I was talking about your bodyguards. Nari-ho! How many times do I have to tell you? It's Lally-ho. I do like the jumps. Lally-ho. Yeah, it's the whap emote. I don't actually know what it's called, but that's what it's intended for. Hey, the music shifted. Oh my god. Oh, hang on, hang on. So Baron shifted as well. Towards Yakuza Kiwami 2, Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, and Pokemon Legends CA. The moon is gone. The wind crystal is safe once more. I wonder, though, now that we know the crystal's true nature, can things ever truly be the same? Well, what difference does it make? People pray to the crystals because the crystals are always there for them. They're a unifying force. Everyone wants to protect and take care of them. Yeah, makes sense. I could not have stated it better. Oh, I'll stab you, Ulta. With a donut! Your shirt's gonna be ruined. It's a good donut, though. No need to compliment me. That's just how my husband put it. Speaking of Master Yang, where is he right now? Oh, it was great, her Wolflufness. Not as bad as I was thinking because of this version changed it, but otherwise it was terrible. It is strange to think about when Yang treated Ursula. Can I stop rating this unless anything interesting happens? Oh, dude, a honey crawler. Like, alright. Yes, Master. This is my response to you, push-ups. Yes, Master. Yes, Master. I've never had a sour cream crawler. Is that the best you can do? No, Master. I'm not done yet. I love how every one of these has one of the frickin' ninjas. Just kind of there for absolutely no reason. As Maze pointed out, Zangetsu, the tall, lean, beardless man, is still hiding amongst the dwarves. What's the difference, Baron? Yeah, gotta get that intel and all our peaceful allies. Make sure they do it alright? I don't know. The crystal is the same as always. Indeed. Oh my god. Oh my god. I just had the worst thought. What if, now that, like, the crystals are, you know, no longer have an external force controlling them or regulating them, they start to slowly but increasingly leak radiation? So I cannot help but think our crystal is different from all the other ones the Creator made. Our nation believes in this crystal, yes, but it would have taken more than that for it to recover its light. Are you suggesting the crystal itself is evolving too? Perhaps. Perhaps it only responded to the evolution we ourselves carry in our hearts. I would like to believe that anyway. Your Majesty. There you are, and Harley too. Have you finally hooked up, by the way? Seriously, hook up, right now. This is your last chance. Have you obtained the material we discussed earlier? Harley. Yes, my lord, I've made all the necessary arrangements. As I would expect, then your highness. Anna, tell her from the bottom of our heart, I thank you both. What's that? You want me to kiss Harley? Don't be silly. Alright, bye. Anna's like, I'm gonna haunt you, Edward, so help me God. Yeah, they just look at each other like, he's still not doing it. That's what that look was. It's just, really? Anna, I think your lover's a moron. Your young highness, who's 43. Where is his young highness? Guard. Guards he. It's guards. Wait, no, is that guards he or guard she? Which one do you think it is? And no, I never lore run to After Years. I actually was quite thorough with the Final Fantasy lore run, and I'm quite proud of it. The FF lore run. There was only one. But, we didn't do After Years. Guard she, her. Left just a moment ago, sir. What? Again? Where? Guard time! Okay, this has been consistent enough. I'm going to give it a ding. I'm going to give it a negative. I'm sorry. This is a basic-ass bug. And it has happened a lot. That someone somewhere should have caught. It's really easy to spot. And it happens frequently enough that you should have been able to catch this. Guards, I'm afraid he didn't say, sir. He simply stated he was going out on patrol. What was that? Are you hard of hearing, sir? I just told you. Oh, when we're almost complete. Just when we've almost completely renovate this sentence. Oh, just when we've almost completed renovating the castle. There we go. I fear his young highness has fallen into his habit of slipping off unannounced one more. Just like I fall into the habit of narrating to myself. Listen, the king has to go out on patrol. He sent all of his best ninjas to spy in every other nation. Master. Oh, never mind. Here they are. All's clear in Fabul. Nothing seems out of order in the underworld as well. Troya's crystal is the same as always. Nothing to report from Mazidia either. Good work, everyone. You're free to go. Go and live the life you've wished for. I release you from service. Then we will continue to serve as your shadows. No, when I say I release you from oh my god. Whenever you're in peril, just call. We will be there. We're Eblin's Ninja Guard, and we will be that way forevermore. Seriously, guys, go take a freaking vacation. Whatever, people. Yes, Master. Thank you for your kind words. I don't think those count as kind words. I bid you farewell. Until the next mission. Yeah, let me rephrase this. You're fired. I'm replacing you with AI. Or Seneschal. How the hell do I pronounce it? Kyore? We'll go with Kyore. Kyore? What? Don't say what, you're supposed to say yes? Yes. Right, right. Doesn't that sound better? Ah, you! Rydia! What is it? It's the Eidolons. Careful, you never know when that time dilation's gonna hit you. It's been quite a while. Your Majesty, and the Queen. Mist is certainly a fine place, is it not? I'm glad to see you both in good spirits, but what brings you here so suddenly? Well, we realized if you're not able to visit us, the least we can do is visit you. I mean, we're eternal, so we can just skip the time dilation problem. I apologize, Rydia. Who are they? They're my family. Oh my god, my parents! Say hello to them, please. No, your dad was Kain and your mother's dead. Good afternoon. Hello there, nice to meet you. She looks quite a bit like you were when you were a child. Yeah, thanks, game. Whoa. Edge! Hey, Kyore. You're late. Sorry. Kinda hard to find free time when you got a country to run. Ah, Master Edge. Kyore can just teleport. That's terrifying. Have any of you taken care of a child? Imagine that child could teleport. That is horror. That is a horror story. He's the one who suggested we pay you a visit, Rydia. What? We're gonna play all day long. Sure. No magic, though, okay? Okay. Edge, thank you. And they don't hook up the end. I mean, if Edward isn't getting with Harley, then surely Edge isn't getting with Rydia. That's just the end of that. It's okay. Cecil might get together with Rosa. Maybe. No training wheels this time, I hope. Dude, you're like 20 levels higher than him. And you have a better weapon. Woof. Yeah, we're just gonna auto-battle this now. High off the deep end. That's enough! I am here for my son, Cecil. I'm your squad captain, starting today. You are all beneath me! I'll be counting on you, Kain. Oh, Kain. I mean... Later tonight, in the guest bedroom. Alright, That depends on what Theodore wants. No, see, it makes sense. So Rosa would go to one of the other towers, right? And stay there. And Kain would jump up to meet her. So everyone's like, oh, nobody could possibly be, doing anything with her. And Kain's like, Bzz. They did that on purpose, of course. Wonder how he's doing these days. Golbez? Yes. Yes, you are beneath me, Kain. What? I've never... Ah! This is so new and unusual. So, is anybody going to bring up the fact that Zeromus is back and, we barely escaped him to go deal with the other threat? No, I know, Maze. Rosa had an exit spell that beelined to Cecil's room. And while that's obviously got a couple of gameplay reasons for that existing, I always like to think that was in canon. Are you sure you want to go, Golbez? I am. Do you think Fusoya's still alive? In this series? How many people stay dead in FF4? Don't answer that. Would anyone on that moon still be in one piece, for that matter? I don't know. That's why I must go there at once. To find an entire moon of dead people. Farewell. May we meet again, Golbez. Don't you mean Uncle Golbez? Someday, somewhere. Kid, he's got a spaceship. Yeah, this is not a joke. Zeromus is back and might have wiped out all life on the moon. Starting with Fusoya. Oh, God. What if that was supposed to be a sequel hook? What if that was on purpose? Oh, my God. I never even thought about that. Do you think this is the Red Wings' best interest? Not upgrading our airships one bit? We have a royal decree. We're to disarm our airships and never rearm them again. There is no possible situation under any circumstances whatsoever where we would ever want a functional military. Now, if you'll excuse me... So, interestingly enough, it's hard to get hard data on the sales figures, but this version of the game didn't sell very well. The PSP version of the game sold pretty well because the PSP was ginormous in Japan, and FF4 is the popular one. The original flip version, again, it's hard to get hard data, but apparently the flip phone thing was really, really popular because of the uniqueness of it. Being able to play Final Fantasy IV on your phone in 2009 was considered extremely unique, and so a lot of people did that. So, it would not surprise me if they someday do an FF4 3. So where are we going? Around the world. We're on a reconstruction support mission to every nation in the land. Also true, Mace. Does this look like a pleasure cruise to you, Theodore? Did Biggs and Wedge tell you nothing? If Kane lunges forward and slugs Theodore right now... That's true, the PSP version also included the interlude, which was new at the time, and to my knowledge, is the only version of that exists. I'm sorry, sir. Oh, God. New raid in FF14. Another moon. The Creator's Lair. Anyways, Damsian. Edwards procured some building materials for us. Roger. Yip, yip. Oh, ho, ho. Another ending song. This is long. I don't mind this. I've seen better. In FF4, I've seen better. And it's common for an FF ending to have this kind of an epilogue-y thing, and I don't mind that. But this is way too freaking long. And a lot of what they're saying is just nonsense. Is that it? Are we done? Are we done? Oh, okay, let's let the credits roll here. Alright, so everyone, that was the end of the prologue. Oh my god. Oh my god, look at Edge's face. That's great. That's actually great. That's precious. Kiss! This is literally your last chance. Your dead wife is haunting you right now. Kiss! Less, Mr. Red. Yeah, Tella turns to her. Are you sure he's not actually gay? Come to think of it. Huh. Like, did we ever... That would be interesting, Triax, yeah. But no, we've got to have this brand new alien monstrosity goop monster. You know, it's funny. I was actually thinking about this earlier. Considering the original format, the whole episodic thing, if there was ever a time to not try to go bigger and have a big doomy end-of-the-world plot, it was After Years. This was the time to just have a down-to-earth story about now what. Because several people mentioned, Darkraven mentioned yesterday, I want to say, FF4 ended so conclusively, it needed no sequel. There was no real room for a sequel. But that doesn't mean you can't do one. What it means is you start something new in the same setting that happens because of the previous work, right? And to use the obvious example, the Thrawn trilogy over in Star Wars. Or Majora's Mask over in Zelda. Now what? And you do a completely different type of story, because now what? You did it. You stopped the moon. Zemus is gone. Yeah, FF10-2 is actually another good example of a now what. It fumbles several times, but it is. Honestly, the best parts of the story of FF10-2 are when they focus on what the world has been turning into in the wake of FF10, and not on the giant end-of-the-world plot that happens at the last minute. Oh, absolutely, Royal Flipness. I've said this before and I'll say it again. Final Fantasy X-2 is a political thriller wrapped in cotton candy. Just think, I never have to play this again. Is this the worst sequel to mainline FF? I don't know, FF13-3 exists. I am glad that you liked FF13. I'm shocked you didn't like 13.3. I've only played 13.2 once, and that was for the lore run. And that's different, right? I didn't really get to experience the game there, so I got to actually do a proper review of that someday. Character and sprite work. I've heard a lot of good things about 13.2. Sorry, I keep hitting the negative key. Sorry. Can you tell I'm adding negatives? Start doing it that way. So here's the thing. I've heard some people say that Final Fantasy sequels are cursed. And I don't necessarily deny it, because the problem is most of the FF sequels are coincidentally bad, if that makes any sense. Most of the times they actually bothered to do a sequel, there was sabotage, or difficulties, or problems, or there's issues behind the scenes, or just whatever, right? Yeah, something gets in the way of almost every FF sequel that makes it suck. I mention this because I've heard several people say FF should never have sequels. Let me formally and professionally disagree with that. I think the problem is just they keep getting bad sequels. That doesn't mean that FF series should not have sequels. Hello, baby bear. How are you?
Good.
You're amazing. Is it dinner time? Okay. Well, I've got to finish up my audit, and then I'll be down, okay? So let's do...
It is not.
What? You lied to me!
I
Oh, well, I couldn't quite hear. I have something very loud in my ear.
People can do something.
Correct, Lareth. I've heard some people say that there's some systemic, structural reason why FF games should not have
You know
sequels.
how
And I don't agree with
the
that.
you know how with
I mean, the remake trilogy is getting into Asterisk territory, no matter how you look at it. Now, let me go ahead and do the proper audit here. I like how the highest someone guessed is -81. That is telling, I think. Alright. Give me one moment to concentrate here. Sorry about that. My niece was rather upset that I gave her an Oreo and didn't also give her a fish. Which meant she threw a tantrum, which meant she got scooched out. No, it's very simple. No. Throwing a tantrum does not work. No, I have these little candy fish here. They're pretty good. No, they're not Swedish fish. They're basically just gummy fish. With like this really weird consistency, though. It's a good consistency. It's hard to explain, though. It's almost more waxy, if that makes sense. And less, like, sticks to your teethy, which I prefer. I originally got them for myself, and then my nieces liked them, so they have since been claimed by the nieces. I used to like Mike and Ike's, but they stick to my teeth too much, and I don't enjoy that sensation. Was there even a theme in this game? I don't think there was. I mean, you could say evolution, but I don't even think that counts. So I'm gonna go with no theme. Nothing I could think of anyways. The theme was goop. I mean, actually, yeah. The theme was, you remember FF4? Remember FF4? Actually, genetics I could see as being a legitimate theme. Because, you know, it's the whole next generation, you are who your children, you know, your parents were, etc., etc. Oh yeah, I do that all the time, Traxia. I have bad fillings, which were put in when I was 14, and replacing those is a lot more expensive than just living with it. So I just have to be careful with them. I can't give any negatives to voice acting. For some strange reason. Negative 41 to story. Swinging for the fences. Whoops. I mean, I think this game could have worked in several ways. God damn it, I'm stupid. Hang on, I'm stupid. Oh my gosh. You know what? This is a good version of the soundtrack, but honestly, why don't we go classical? Let's get our member bearers on, shall we? Yeah, just do an anthology. It's kind of technically too late to guess. If you ask really nicely, I might put a guess in. But I always cut off the guess before the end, because, you know, that's cheating. But the way you put in a guess is you pull up the guess sheet, and then you just add your name, and then add your guess, and what you want to put it towards if you win. That's it. It's pretty easy. No. Go ahead. What's your guess? Give me a sec. I need to know all 3 data points, though. That's my requirement of you. Okay, so negative 125. Hang on. Where's the guessing sheet? There it is. And what do you want to put that towards if you happen to win? Let's see. Enemy design. Time to do the G's. Now, I apologize. I didn't think... Even I'm taking too long. This whole freaking game, I swear to God. This is the cursed game. There's no escaping it. Fight it. Run from it. Yeah, you can put it towards up to 3 things. It counts like anything else does. Or you could add 1 new thing. You cannot add 3 things. Some people have questioned why that's a thing, but it feels like a self-explanatory rule. It's very easy for the list to get overpopulated by a ton of games that are never going to get funding if I let people just add 3 games every time they add something. Ask me how I know. Yeah, the list already has hundreds of things on it. Many of which have very little funding. Most of which have very little funding. In fact, it'd be interesting to sometime enumerate how many of the things on the list have less than, say, 50% funded. Okay, so that'll go towards Jedi Survivor, Pokemon Soul Silver, and Command, and Conquer 1R. There. There we go. Yeah, I'd be curious too. I'm sorry this is taking me, but I really am. There are so many negatives, and for those of you who know, I don't like to miss anything. Normally I do most of this off camera, but I spaced because I was... It doesn't matter. I'm an idiot. I suck. Moving on. I'm actually curious what the final score is going to be, because it's... I think this game is long enough that it's going to start getting the sustained density negative bonus, or bonus, you know what I mean. Will it be low? Yeah, so someone do me a favor. What did FF13 get? I know it's pretty far down there. Negative 288. Okay. Okay. Last run through. Yeah, we'll see. It did, Late 12. I can tell you that right now. Yeah, at 80 hours of whatever the density was of FF13. Yeah. I'm curious what it was, though. I'll look in a second. I want to finish this first. I was debating if this will get the garbage tag. What do y'all think? Is this a garbage tag game? Thank God Valerian's not here to answer that. What's funny is the PSP version would get that tag without hesitation. Just for spitting on my face. The problem is there's actually quite a few positives there. What up to 23 story and 33 gameplay positives? That's not a small number. You know? Replayability. I was thinking about replayability, but yeah, the problem is I don't think this version counts. I probably even know the argument you're going to make, Glitchfall, and I could see that, but not this one. Okay. Oh man, augments would be legit. All right, so that. Thank you for telling me. I still need to finish. I will finish as quickly as I can.
I found my night back.
Good. I'm glad you found it.
It's just...
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we Yeah, so I was deliberately not looking at the golden number as I was typing in numbers, because, yeah,
What golden number?
I'm doing my job.
Okay.
Thank you. Oops, I didn't type that right. No, I typed it wrong. So let's start with the story. That's negative 41. Sadly, that's not even close to the worst we've had in story access, even just for JRPGs.
What do you mean? Why
But
do you
that's-
want the worst?
What? I'm sorry?
Why do you want the worst?
I don't understand your statement.
Did you say sadly it is not the worst?
Oh, because there's so much worse than this. FF13, this is worse than FF13, yeah, which was negative 29. So that is a 0.9 negatives per hour, so almost a negative per hour, and a ratio of 26.44%. None of those are great numbers. Gameplay. Negative 49. Also, so okay, I lied. I was looking at the wrong numbers. That's our third worst story score we've ever had on a JRPG. That's closer to like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Our ninth worst gameplay score. And that is 1.08 negatives per hour and a ratio of 29.06%. You have to be quiet.
Okay.
Giving us a final golden number. Drum roll, please.
What's the golden number?
Well, I'm going to tell him in a second. I want to build it up for just a second. So, to put this into a bit of perspective, FF13 got negative 288, right? Final Fantasy IV After Years gets negative
What?
236.
Negative 200?
0.74.
Doggy that's a cute pink plushie.
What's really funny, yeah, I think it's cute too. What's really funny is it really should be so much worse. But like I said, there were just too many positives bolstering it, which is kind of funny. Like, that's really bad. It's not as bad as FF13. And you know what? Yeah, honestly, in hindsight, I kind of stand by that. FF13, after all, is twice the length and just as bad in several respects. But yeah, I think that just straight up goes to Linera. I think she just wins that one. So we'll go ahead and jot that down for Linera's picks. If I remove all the positives, give me a second. But first, let me write this down for Wing Commander, Urquan, etc., and 3 stars. Congrats, Linnerith. Now, hang on. If we somehow magically get rid... This music is appropriate for this. If we somehow magically get rid of the positives, give me a second. So let's assume somehow it gets none of the positives. So, 23 and 34. 23, 34. 23, 34.
Okay.
23,
You go downstairs.
34. So that's negative 64. And negative 83. That would push it down to negative 443. If the good stuff wasn't there. Which, that's not a great score. That would push it to, hang on. 443. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That would be our new 8th worst game ever. Which is really sad that that would only be 8th worst. Look, we've covered some really terrible games at this point. And honestly, that's my final takeaway, my final little speech. I don't think this is a good game. But it is so much better than it has any right to be. we have covered so much worse than this. And honestly, if not for the personal insult that this game gave to me when I played it originally, then yeah, I honestly might not even remember the damn thing. So yeah, Secret of the Stars continues to be the king. And honestly, we'll probably hold that title for quite some time. I'm tired. Tomorrow, Homeworld. I'll see you guys.